a question over here. This is for Christina, the social media correspondent. The youth, as mentioned a few times, I'm over here like,
where? I don't know what that means.
As the social media correspondent, do you get a lot of response from older adults? And the reason why I say this, I have personal experience of going home to my mother's house and hearing the voice before I even turn the corner. She's deaf. She's sitting on the edge of the chair. She knows all of you.
Is she tweeting us?
What's that?
Is she tweeting us too?
No, she can't. But I want to say, what is the age range you're getting on social media from people? Are you getting people over 40, over 50?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our age range has definitely grown. I mean, it started off, I felt like it was a younger, like maybe a core fan base in their 20s and 30s that kind of really knew Twitter and Instagram. But I think as it's grown, I find the audience has gotten larger, and it's been from every age to really young to, I would say, well above their 50s. You know, if you look at the picture, you know, it's sparks your interest to look at the picture and see what they're talking about. And they usually like play, right? No, but they're all very invested into the show, and they love the show. We have great compliments from everybody from all ages. So it has grown, and social media has played a big part of the show.
And I have one other question. Carson Daly was very kind to answer this earlier. Is Record Store Day. It is a national and international phenomenon that just happened to happen this Saturday on 420. What was the last record each of you? What was the last record each of you have bought, even if it was several years ago?
Record Store Day needs to move off 420. I'll tell you that.
What do you mean, man?
The last record that we bought?
Yes. Or CD. What was the last piece of music you physically purchased?
Yeah.
My last physical CD I bought was Justin Timberlake's last album.
You bought one?
Yeah.
I bought the physical CD, now I bought that.
I bought it from Amoeba, a Steel Pulse record, Earth Crisis. I saw on vinyl, but I just wanted to have for memorabilia sake.
On 420, really? Steel Pulse.
Not on record day. I didn't know it was record day.
It's a special day for a lot of things.
It's a special day for a few things.
I bought Levine Brothers Greatest Hits for about the 4th time.
Yeah, physical copies, I can't remember.
Blake has an album at the dollar store on sale. I kid you not.
He does.
A friend of mine bought that.
Long hair.
Picture I sent.
What do you mean it's on sale?
99 cents, man.
They're waiting on you.
Anybody else buy it?
Y'all don't buy a record, y'all just listen to yourselves.
It's true. What was the last physical? No, I can't even remember the last album I bought like at a store.
Pistol Annie's. You bought Pistol Annie's.
Not at a store. I didn't really buy it. I just told you I did. I listened to all the songs on iTunes. You know, they gave you like 30 seconds. They were great. Those are awesome. Each one, you pay 30 seconds each one. I thought to myself, I basically heard the album.
Go ahead, say it.
Can I just tie it in? There is another convention coming up at Century City in May. Seriously, it's the National Association of Record Merchants. Yeah, it's been around for years, so I'm just telling you, NARM and record stores are alive and well, so the voice gives voice to music, but it's, you know,
yeah, I mean,
it's just a perspective.
I'd like to say one thing about that too. Like, I think that living in LA, Tower Records was a huge institution. We always would go there. I grew up going there, and it was like paradise because it was everything you could possibly imagine under one roof. I'm a huge fan of the hard copy. The one thing I would say is that, you know, we've for some reason, not for some reason, for the internet, we've veered away from that right now, and that's not what people are doing, and that's not how people are really getting their music most of the time. Yeah, I think we should embrace it, and maybe the ebb and flow of pop culture and the hard copy versus the internet copy maybe it'll kind of come back, it'll swing back the other way, and we'll start getting down with vinyl and CDs and cassette tapes and fucking 8-track tapes or whatever it might be, or some new invention that they make that's the hard. I don't know, but I think it's important to also kind of move on a little bit too, and realize that things have changed and embrace that.
Also, as a dad with high school and college age kids, these kids all have vinyl records and record players, and cool kids in college and high school are buying vinyl. And the reason I've bought a lot of vinyl records lately for my kids, and they're loving getting the albums and the artwork and reading the sleeves. So there's certainly a resurgence amongst kids in their 16, 17, 19 kids.
And that's so good to hear, and that's such a beautiful thing to be able to
Question over here on your left.
Stories.
Question over here on your left.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, can each one of you,
Hello.
can each one of you just go down the line and talk about the biggest lesson that each of you have learned in your industry with turning all the way from the left to right?
Oof.
Ah.
Oh, who's the, was that
The
me?
biggest lesson.
Left to right being,
It doesn't matter.
I'd love to start. Try to not ever listen to your record label, and you should be all right. And if you can ever get away with not having to listen to your record label, do it. Do whatever the hell you want to do, or try to. That's always the struggle being an artist that's signed, is that it's very difficult to get what you want to get done. So from a creative standpoint, always kind of rage against the machine a little bit. That's the best thing I think that ever happened to me, was realizing I didn't have to listen all the time to what everybody else said. That's how I really feel.
Am I the next one? I guess what comes to mind now is what my school music teacher once told me. He basically told me to get rid of my vibrato because he thought I sounded like a goat. That was a terrible mistake, terrible advice. Because I think that's one of the most signature things about my sound is vibrato. So I obviously didn't listen to him. Because my dad, actually, I remember I came back home and I told my dad, sort of crying, that I had been told by my music teacher this and that, and he told me, don't ever use the vibrato. A voice without the vibrato, it's worth nothing. So
I love your voice. I don't think you sound like a goat. I think your music teacher has that up his ass.
Thank you. Any other animal you think I sound like?
No.
Goat being the greatest of all time.
Wow.
Good one.
I don't need to train that, man.
Sure. You just always listen. I can't say that there's anything specific, but I will say this. When I first started, I completely lost my voice, and in part to the fact that, young boys go through a vocal change, and you lose your voice. So, and I think earlier I talked about that opportunity to get back up. My label could have 100% turned it back on me, but they gave me an opportunity to show, that I could come through that moment. And had I not only had their support, but had I not had my mother and all the people to support me in getting back up on the horse and continue to go, I would have never, become the artist that I am, and eventually win a Grammy for Best Vocal Performance. Stuff like that kind of represent the milestone.
How long did you lose your voice?
I lost my voice for about a year and a half.
Wow. What age?
I was 14.
Wow.
That's probably one of the most tumultuous moments and things that have
And
happened.
go through that change.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Doesn't happen. It doesn't.
I should
Think I can happen to the.
Yeah. All of a sudden, when you wake up one morning, you're like, hey, Mom, can I get some pancakes?
See, that never happened to me, man.
I still try to do that, I can't do it. So,
Somebody wake up late.
I don't know what the question is anymore.
How long did it take for your balls to drop?
Ladies and gentlemen, the answer goes to our next one.
Falls out of guard.
We've got time for one more question, if anyone can muster the courage or the energy. We've got time for one more, ladies and gentlemen.
Make it a good one.
Any takers for a final question with insight? Call it a wrap then. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all.